So I'm going to show you what the perfect start to a motorcycle trip is. Oh, it finally stopped turning on. It was turning on forever and just like not functioning. It was really bad. It's really bad. We'll get back to it. So it's Saturday morning, I think, and I am waiting for a guy who I am buying a sleeping bag. I left on this trip without a sleeping bag, so I am buying a sleeping bag from this guy, and I am meeting him at a McDonald's parking lot in somewhere in Albany. Yeah, this is an adventure. This is the whole reason I'm doing this trip this weekend, is to have an adventure. So I'm gonna wait until this guy gets here, and then I'm gonna go top off on gas, and I'll touch base with you when I get back on the road. So.
That is what I am talking about. Yes. Yes, it is. This is fucking awesome, I gotta be honest with you. And we are just about in Vermont. Right up there. I want to talk about... I want everyone to understand something. You should understand what I had to go through to get this shot. I had to unload all of my saddlebags, pull over on... Well, first I had to pull over on the side of the road. I had to unload all of my saddlebags. I had to... Just to find two pieces. I needed 2 pieces. I found the 2 pieces, and as I was putting away my saddlebags, me being the idiot I am and forgetting it... Ooh, that's a lot of really good geology. Whoa! I wish I'd have pulled over for that. That was awesome. So I am a total geology nerd. Studied it in college. As I was loading up the saddlebags, me forgetting that I was on a hill, facing downhill, I went to close the saddlebag, put pressure on it, and I immediately felt the bike start to go, and I dropped the bike. I straight up dropped the bike. And she went down, but I gotta be honest with you, I've never dropped a bike before, way easier to pick that thing up than I anticipated. I'm not gonna be able to pass. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if I'm still recording, like, I hope I am. But yeah, this is my first time in Vermont. I've never been up here. So, I'm glad that everyone is, able to share this. I think I'm still recording. I'm not sure. But anyway, all right, North Bennington. So why am I using my Memorial Day weekend to travel 10 hours on a bike? Well, that's an easy answer. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I bought this bike to road trip on. I bought this bike. Hopefully, eventually, this bike is going to take me around the world. And I don't know. It was about time I put my money where my mouth was and get the fuck on the bike and start road tripping. So this is the inaugural trip for the V-Strom, and she is doing absolutely fantastic. I left work yesterday at around 3. And basically headed straight up to Albany. I stayed with my buddy Kevin. Buddy's back in college. And that drive in and of itself, I mean, coming up the Hudson Valley, like, during sunset, is just absolutely amazing. But I'm having a great time. I'm excited. The destination, as of right now, is the West Quoddy Head Lighthouse in Lubec, Maine. And basically, take Canada, take a step into the U.S., that's Lubec, Maine. It's like right on the on the border, and the West Quoddy Head Lighthouse is actually the farthest eastern point in the contiguous United States. So I've always had this cool idea of riding to the extreme points of the U.S., and that just came right out of a that came out of a Wikipedia session when I was killing time at work one day, and I found a list of the most extreme points. So the far east, the far north, the geographic center, all that stuff. And I was like, I could do that. Like, how cool would it be to ride to all of the extreme points by motorcycle? So the West Quoddy Head Lighthouse was the closest one for me. So I had some time coming up for a holiday, and I pulled the trigger. So I packed all my stuff. I packed all my stuff into the saddlebags and started riding. So I am just now in Maine on, I guess, Vermont State Route 7A. I'm going to put the camera away for a little bit. I might turn it back on for some B-roll, but I'm super excited. It's going to be a great trip, guys. So I'll touch base with you soon. Peace.
So I stopped at this place called the Scoop City Grill, and I think, what town is this? I think it's Claremont, New Hampshire. I'm in New Hampshire, and the ride today has been lovely. I'm about 7 hours and 40 minutes from Lubeck, so we're just gonna play it by ear. If I get to Augusta by the end of the day, I think that's where I'm gonna call it. So, good times. Good times. This is today's lifeblood. I can't express how excited I am.
I'm in Maine! Guys, I'm in Maine! I think I've only ever been to Maine once. I think I've only been to this state twice, but never this far north. So yeah, I gotta say, today's ride, I have gotten so much farther than I anticipated. I mean, I could theoretically stay on the road. It's basically 4:30 right now. I could theoretically stay on the road for another 5 hours and change and get to the lighthouse and wake up in front of the lighthouse at sunrise tomorrow. Theoretically I could. Am I going to do that? Different story. But I'm having a great time today, man. This was a great idea. Broken phone. Regardless, I'm having a great time. I'm jamming out some podcasts, some music. I still have no idea where I'm gonna sleep. But maybe that's one of the biggest things about road tripping on a motorcycle that I've always been concerned about, is finding places to sleep. Because there's something weird about just pulling over somewhere and putting a tent up. Hello, dude that's passing. Good job. That was a glorious beard. Wow. But yeah, that's always kind of been my big thing about camping. It's just pulling over in a clearing somewhere and putting up a tent. I've done it. I did it once when I was out in Utah with my little brother, but I don't know. It's just always been weird to me. But I'm now that I'm starting to look for it, it's getting a little late in the day. I've been on the roads for 7.5 hours at this point. I'm starting to actually notice places where I can theoretically pull over and go to bed, which is cool. So I'm gonna save my battery, save some space on this thing, and we'll talk soon, guys. So 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up.
So it's a little wet, if you couldn't tell. Camp is broken down. The V is absolutely drenched. I camped last night, basically on just a pullout on, I think this is Route 182 up in Maine. I think I did like 14 hours in the saddle yesterday. And I'm like an hour and a half from Lubeck. No, I did not come this far and not see this lighthouse. So I am just gonna, I don't have my rain gear with me because it was supposed to be a beautiful Memorial Day weekend. I'm gonna get a little wet. But we're gonna go for it. And I hope it, calms down with the rain a little bit, so maybe I can get a drone shot or two. But this is gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a fun time, guys. So we're gonna get after it. So it takes a little bit of ingenuity, but I am currently wearing, you ready for my impromptu rain gear? That is a industrial strength garbage bag, and I also have two of them. You can't see them, but I have one on each leg as well. So this is what I call making the best of a bad situation. My phone is currently in a plastic bag provided by Circle K. Just want to say thanks to John, who really came through for me on this one. So I'm about an hour south of West Quaddy Head. I found I've been pronouncing it wrong, but I'm about an hour south, so I'm almost there. And it is still pouring rain with no sign of letting up. So we're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it. So the road has officially run out. I don't know if I'm gonna find more road, but it has officially run out. And I'm having a great time. This is awesome. The wind is going crazy, but I just want to say, like, for a first real road trip on the bike, I couldn't have asked for better. I mean, obviously the weather was a bit of a damper, but it's just absolutely amazing. I can't believe I'm actually out here. I don't know how the audio is. I mean, the wind could be going crazy, but like, this is just unreal. So the rest of the day is going to be back tracing a little bit until I can get to the highway and then start making my way home. So I think I'm gonna put the cameras away at this point and just enjoy the ride for the rest of the trip. But I hope you guys like this video. I can't wait to make more of these. So until next time, this is Mike. Stay gold, people. Stay gold.